Alright, hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to play some DBA 3.0 on Tabletop Sim. Have an early Italian Wars themed scenario. And so this is picking up where I left off in my little overview video, just using the same deployment pattern. I just loaded the same game, but someone brought it to my attention in the comments that in the DBA 3.0 rules, the camp has to be set to the back edge of the board, so I just went ahead and moved the camp to reflect that. And our Spaniards are attacking, and we have the French, so I believe the defender actually goes first. Let me... is that reflected on the... So I think Pip... Okay, I think defender goes first. Anyway, kind of strange, but whatever. So go ahead and roll for pips. So French get 1, and Spanish also get 1. Okay. So since these guys are in a row, they're just going to move. So this element is going to move. Actually, I don't think these guys count, so let's see. These are shot. So I think I'll just have the knights and the pike move up, so they'll just move up there, and that's the French first move. They're kind of pinned in. This isn't a great board, I admit. Alright, Spanish also only have one pip, so these guys are just going to move up here. I guess they're in the terrain of the field, but they're just touching it. It's not a big deal to me. Okay, so that's our turn 1. Pretty quick. Or the first bound, I guess. It's not turn. Anyway, go ahead and roll for pips. Spanish are going to get 5. French are also going to get 5. Okay. I have to actually check a rule real quick because we have artillery in this game actually. So let me see. Gotta pull up my... There's some quick reference. Let's see, DB. So I did actually get a PDF of some of the DBR rules. I didn't have time to go through this, so I'm just going to be using this quick reference to DBA. So I think, let's see, the knights, cavalry, blades, bows, battlefield terrain, camps, fighting, sequence of play, player initiative points, may shoot, okay, artillery, war wagons, and bows may shoot once each. Okay, now we have to look at okay, so pips you don't affect your shooting. Pips are just for moves. Okay. Distance shooting. Okay. Maximum range is 5 base widths if artillery, 3 base widths if bows or war wagons. The shooting edge is either the front edge of a bows or artillery element. Okay. Um, okay, so go back to the game. So I'm kind of learning this as I go, so I apologize if things get a bit slow. All right, so where were we? Okay, French. Yeah, French have 5 pips. I think these guys are going to move. They are solid hordes. Pursues 1 baits with. Solid pikes. Solid pikes. Okay, how far can these guys move? Movement 2. Okay. So I wonder what these guys are supposed to be representing. I guess maybe just like some peasant levies or something. Well, let's see. Advance. Oh, they're advance 2. Oh, my computer is. Okay, advance 2. So that's down to. So we've used 1 pip. Okay, and then I think these horse, I want to move them. Let's see, they might try and make a flank move, so let's do that. So they'll just rotate, and then, let's see, their movement is 4. So they'll rotate and move. Two and a, okay, 2.5. And then I think they can shift again, because that kind of uses up another 1. So that puts them up to 3. And then let's move them. Advance half. Advance half. That leaves them at 1. Okay, I think that's a legal move. All right, and then so that puts us down to 3 French pips. And then I think these guys will advance. What are they? They are mounted fast longbows. I should have put them in the advance guard, but anyway. So they will move. Let's move them. They'll just move 3 up to the edge of the forest, and they're going to try and get in behind. I think these guys will just stay back in the vicinity of the camp. What are they? They are light horse. Yeah, so we'll just stay in the camp. So it puts us down to our last pip, and I'll go ahead and move this unit as 1 row. I'm not sure, since these are 2, if they count as being part of the same line. I'm not going to sweat it for this, so they'll just move up. Let's put them there. Okay. I've got this nice marsh, so maybe the Spanish can use this to their advantage. We'll see. Okay, and then these guys can shoot 5, so let's see if they have any range. Um, let's see, so they need 5. Yeah, they don't quite reach. So that's the turn. You know, I really didn't know that much about DBA. I know it's an extremely popular set of rules until basically this mod, but I'm really pleased with it, and I think I mentioned this on the other video, but I really like that you don't need buckets of dice to play it. Like, it's nice just to have one dice, simple combat factor to resolve combats, and that's it. And that's a really nice thing. Okay, so the French are finished, and now it's the Spanish turn, so let's see what our ejército wants to do. Okay, I think our pikemen, now I don't want them to move up unsupported, so they'll advance up there, and then let's advance these Spanish knights, so they're going to go up there. Now, I don't want these guys to get stuck in the marsh, so I think what I'll do is I'm just going to move them just before the marsh. Okay, so that's 3 of our pips, so we're down to 2. And let's see, these guys are just some light horse, so I think I'm going to move them so that's like 2.5, and let's shift, and I think I'm just going to move them that'll be okay, that's close enough. 4, alright. Okay, so now we're down to 1. So that was 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 1 pip left. I really need to try out the DBR rules because they treat the shot units a little bit better, and maybe the army lists might give more. Unfortunately, this mod, like I mentioned, doesn't have more of the Renaissance miniatures. But, again, I mean, that's not really... I don't want to rag on the guys that put work into this. I mean, it's, they're more Ancients gamers, and, I totally get it. They just don't have the time to put every possible miniature people would want. I mean, anyway, if I could... That's one thing I think a lot of... If I could editorialize while I make the French move... that's one thing I kind of don't really like about a lot of this professionalization of hobby stuff, especially, YouTube or wargaming is, it's just like people expect you to put all of this full-time job type work into stuff like this, and it's extremely frustrating. Just to have, and I also think it really turns off a lot of people that, especially with wargaming, this trend of these painting channels, especially where, everything is like really professionally done, and it's like the guy's job is YouTube basically, and if that's what they want to do, I mean, great, But I think if you're just a normal person that, sees that for the first time, and, oh, you got to buy an airbrush and you got to buy this and that, and and you got to do all these techniques, and um, I think that sort of thing, it just really throws the hobby out of balance, because I think there definitely should be standards for painting and stuff like that, of course, but it just gets to the point where you have um, it's just not. It throws the I guess the triangle of the hobby out of balance. By which I mean, it's, wargaming is, you build your miniatures, you paint, and you play. And when one of those gets out of balance, I think really the spirit of the hobby is sort of uh, tainted in a way, and you lose something. Just like, I would say you get these Warhammer guys that just live to play the meta, and, whatever is like the new hot army for tournament play is like, that's what they're into. And, and they'll field like these gray plastic armies basically, and it's like, okay, you're not really doing the hobby at that point anyway. So there's my little editorial sermon while I do the French moves. Okay, so that's one whole base width, so they can just move 3. Okay, and then it puts them at 2.5. Okay, and then I think I'll just put them there. That'll be their full move. Okay, and then one more. The knights are kind of stuck. So I think actually I'm going to peel these guys. These knights are going to try and peel off. Actually, I think there's just kind of a traffic jam, so they're stuck there. Okay. Alright, so now we have our combats. So our... Okay, this is one base, right? Yeah, okay. So they're going to have... So they're a solid horde. And let's see... Solid horde versus foot gets a +3. And solid, and these are, let's see, these are solid pikes, so they get a plus, also +3, okay. But that unit of pike, this unit of pike has rear support, so they get +3. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll for the Spanish. So they get a +6. And I think so any rules errors I make, it's totally on me, and I'm open to correction in the comments if you're still with me in this video this far. If my little rambling editorial didn't annoy you. Anyway, okay, so let's go to our, let's see if total is less than that of its opponent, but more than half. So 5 plus 6, that's an 11. So what happened is less than half of its opponent. Destroyed. Okay, so assuming I did this move correctly, so this horde of pike, maybe they were just peasant levies. They are destroyed by the Spanish pike, so the tercio, well, not really quite tercio in this scenario. Okay, so outcome, recoil. So I don't know if defenders get to advance, pursue one base width. Pike, half a base width, so I guess they get to pursue. Even though they're defenders. So I don't know how that works. Okay, well, it's half a base width, so it's, yeah, okay, move. Oh, but see, they were not in the combat, so that is a technicality. So if it's the front rank is actually in the combat, these guys are just like a supporting element. So I'm not sure how that applies to their movement either. And I don't know if these guys are quite in combat exactly. Okay, so that was our little engagement there. So it didn't go too well for the French. And now turn it over to the Spanish. I think what the Spanish will do, let's see how many pips did we give them. We've got 5. Spanish are going to get, let's see, Pike's movement in rough ground. Okay, they can only move 1 in rough ground, which I'm sure this marsh counts as, even though they're kind of on the edge, but let's see if that's enough to move them into contact. Okay. Oh, damn it. Excuse my language. I don't know why I did that. Okay. What happened? Okay. I'm not sure why it's. I'm not sure why it's not like doing the measurement thing, but anyway. Okay, I'm going to fudge this a little bit and say, it's the edge of the marsh, so, they can kind of move through it. They're not really fully in. So let's advance them up into contact with the French. And then these 2, so that's 1 pip, and then this pip of this unit of knights is going to move into contact. And then this unit of knights is going to advance, and then they're going to shift to move. I think that would put them into contact as well. Okay, we might have to slide a bit. Let's. Okay, I think that about works. I think actually let's do this. Okay, that should lock everyone together, and then I think these guys can advance. Okay, so I think that puts everyone into contact there, and then these, so that's 1, 2, so that's 3 pips, and then we've got, how many does Spanish have? Oh, okay, so I guess it, okay, well the Spanish had 5 pips, so going to advance this light. Let's see, light horse. So they're going to just move into contact here, try and plug this gap. So they get a file in to do that. All right, let me check how we're doing on time here. All right, 25 minutes in. I think I will play this combat out, and then I will wrap up this section of the battle. And so, okay. All right, so flank support. Solid bow and mutual edge contact. Second rank support. I guess I think both of these pike units get second rank support. So we'll start with the pike. So they're both going to get +3, and they have rear support. Okay, so +3 with rear support, and then they're against foot. So they're also, so they're both going to get +6. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll. Okay, that's a 12, and we go and roll the blue dice for the French. Okay, so the Spanish win by an advantage of 2. So the total is less but more than half. Okay. Destroyed by okay. Knights or whatever that is. So otherwise recoil. Foot base depth. So I think for this, the front. Okay, so I think the front rank. Checking a ruling here. Friends it cannot pass through. So I guess it can. They can pass through their rear rank. So they're going to move back. I guess that's how that works. And then this front rank will pursue. Let me see, check the time. All right. Been going for about a half hour now, so I think I'm going to wrap this one up here. And partially because, to be quite honest, I'm not sure about all the rules, you know, of what's supposed to happen here now, because these knights are going to fight a combat or what happens next. So I'm still learning this the DBA rules. And if there's anybody in the comments that has more experience with it, I'm totally happy for any correction.